And that's how the aliens built the pyramids. It's all connected, people.
G'day, legends! What's up, boys? How the hell are we? Good morning, everybody. What a wild morning we're having in the MMA world. How are we, guys? What is up, Eric? How are you, Nacho? Good morning, Nacho. Nacho's got a freshly shaved head. He's ready to go. How are you, Chino? Good to see you, mate. What's up, brother? Where's the shirt at? Wearing it. What's up, Crisp? How are you, man? Hey, jackass. What's going on, jackass? How are you, Alex? Good to see you, mate. News to wake up to, isn't it, Dinger? Insane bloody news to wake up to, mate. Absolutely insane news to wake up to. It's bloody madness out here, mate. What's up, Jockathan? Big Bosh for Big Jock. 12 months, mate. Love to see it. 12 months, mate. Thank you for your support. Over 12 months. Insane, dude. Insane. Eric, what's up, mate? We've done that one. How are you, Ronald? Good to see you, mate. Bloody legend you are, Ronald. Good to see you. What's up, Cheddarhead? Good to see you, mate. Good to see you, Cheddarhead. I just took a huge dookie. Well, that's good to know, the real Drew Dober. That's very good to know. Who would have thought the guy that finds the easy way out finds another? This isn't an easy way out for Tom Aspinall. Tom Aspinall is going to war directly with his own promoter and the UFC. This isn't the easy way out. This is the Chad's move. The Chad's move is to take the enemy of your enemy and make him your friend and go to war. What if install driver is brown? Then we delete him from the opening, of course. Vivo Zeja Krosdonium. I don't know what you're saying, Ronald. Now I have a loose butthole. Good on you, Drew Dober. Who the fuck is Ben? Who is Ben? Why are you saying anything about Ben? Who's Ben? Nacho thinks Tom should suffer in silence like an abused housewife. I know, that's the kind of man Nacho is, though. Nacho's really showing his own true colors here by saying that Tom Aspinall should just bend over and take it. This shows what Nacho would do in this situation. Nacho would just bend over and take it in this situation. But not Tom Aspinall. Tom Aspinall chooses to stand like a Chad, almost on guard for thee, and go directly at Dana White. Good to see you, Mickey Ward. How are you, brother? How are you, Slim? What's good, boys? Tom has had a boxing promoter to save his MMA career. So there is going to be a press conference tomorrow from Matchroom Boxing and Eddie Hearn, where Eddie Hearn is going to be announcing that he also has other MMA fighters signed to Matchroom Boxing as well. What did I say Eddie Hearn should do after the Conor Benn situation? Start calling up MMA fighters and see who needs management and start to get a collective bargaining agreement going. I think Eddie Hearn is a businessman too and might be moving in that direction. We'll see. Can anyone lend me $5 for weed? You have a mouth? sus pasture. If you have a mouth and you have a truck stop near you, you have a way of making money. Put 2 and 2 together. How are you, Cheddarhead? Good to see you, mate. Oh, what's up, Dinger? What's up? What's up? Opens his mouth for half a second. Stream lags. It's Australian internet. What can I do about it? The internet was literally better in Vietnam. What can I do about it? How are you, Mickey Ward? Good to see you, mate. All right, Dougie, how's it going? What's up, Steve Gardner? Good to see you, mate. We're covering the breaking news. Tom Aspinall is signed to Matchroom Boxing Promotions, Eddie Hearn's company. It's insane, mate. Holloway shirt, nail! I do have to release a Holloway shirt too. That'll be up later today. I've already got the design. I just have to put it on the spreadshot. You're already for Dubronx to get chinned? No. Charles Dubronx is going to be beating Max Holloway. We are going to do the picks in today's stream as well. We're going to cover the Matchroom boxing news. We're going to cover the Tom Aspinall news. And then I'm going to do the picks at the end of the stream. And then I'm going to make a video reacting to the news. And then I need to spend the rest of the day working on the Vietnam vlog. Because it looks like there's about an hour and a half of footage that I need to turn into a half-decent vlog. So that's my plan for today. Found another loser on his bummy island to protect him from the bad man Dana. So you're just going to drag down all of England with this. I don't know if you know this, Nacho, but England sailed across the seas and took on Paris, France, and nearly destroyed Paris, France with nothing but a bunch of pikemen. All right, the English were very close to taking Paris with nothing than a bunch of pikemen. Hearn versus White for the White House card. That might be the only way this is going to go, Jimbo. Can't wait to see Tom not fight again for years. It'll be the UFC's fault because they might stall out his contract. That's what might happen there. Just got out of jail, probably going to go back next week. Then you'll have plenty of practice at making $5 at local truck stops, won't you? Tom could fight one Matchroom card and earn more than his entire UFC career. It's a great move. I agree, Nick. Yes, the UFC are probably going to freeze him out now. It looks like the UFC are definitely going to strip Tom Aspinall. That means that he is no longer a champion, which is really good because when you're a champion, you have to keep re-signing onto new contracts. If Tom Aspinall is no longer a champion, that's actually better for him. Then he'll fight some bums at heavyweight, and then he'll bounce and go to boxing and make a shit ton of money. This is a great move for Tom Aspinall's career. I am the darkest night. I am the brightest light. The Dark Knight is ascending. What's up, Dark Knight Delirium? Guys, go over to Dark Knight Delirium's page and check out the collaboration videos that he has been making between me and himself. He's just cut up essentially every zesty thing that I've ever said, and he pretends to do an interview with me and then inserts my zestiest comments. It's bloody hilarious. Get over to Darklight Delirium's channel. All you have to do is click on his username in the screen and you can go over to his channel. Setup looks different. Yeah, it's not green screen anymore. I'm back at home. Boxing is mogging MMA right now. I don't think it is. I don't think boxing is mogging MMA right now. I think it's funny when they blame Reagan and the CIA for them killing each other. Yeah, it is funny. I know. People don't have any self-control anymore. Dougie, I'd like to officially change my pick to Max Holloway. Wow, Jock. Wow, that's brutal, mate. In the last minute. In the last few days of battle, you leave us, Jock. What are you, a cannoneer facing down the French? This is happy days kind of news. This is happy days kind of news. Is that what you're saying there, Dinger? Yeah? Everyone converting to Max? Well. They were all going on to the wrong side, okay? Nearly, mate. Nearly failed. No, but nearly had it as well with almost zero preparation. Almost took Paris. Impression of Dougie rolling with his best friend Sus Pasture, and Dougie ends up on all fours. I would never end up on all fours, Sus Pasture. I would dominate you. Dana, Mick, and Hunter are beyond angry today. Yes, they'll be fucking furious today. We're going to get some news. We're going to get some news, Johnny. I wouldn't be surprised if they stripped Tom Aspinall, mate. Imagine seeing Max go 5 rounds with the corpse of Dustin Poirier Pinhead, and then thinking he has a chance against the mighty Charles Dubronx. I agree with you, Nacho. At least we can agree on this one, mate. I genuinely don't think it's going to be close. Max is going to dance circles around him. I don't think it's going to be close either. I think Charles Oliveira is going to march into space. Max doesn't like people being in space. Push him up against the cage, wrestle him to the ground, take his back, rear naked choke Charles Oliveira. Are we acting like the UFC wasn't going to strip him either way? Who's saying they didn't already? I know, Eric. We don't know if they already have and they just haven't told us about it. We don't know if, like, the UFC stripped Tom Aspinall and then Tom Aspinall instantly started taking calls from Eddie Hearn. We don't know what's happened with the back end here. It's going to be very interesting to see what happens when Eddie Hearn and Tom Aspinall do their press conference tomorrow. It will also be very interesting to see what happens when Dana White announces the White House card and tells us exactly what is going on. We assume that heavyweight has to play into it, with Alex Pereira relinquishing his light heavyweight belt. Dana will stall out his career for years. Tom has just shot himself in the foot, and you're hailing it as a smart move. Yeah, well, because Dana stalled out Francis Ngannou's contract as well, but as much as it stalls out, it can't stall out forever. These guys do have sunset clauses on them, and it is a smart move because Tom Aspinall is still young, and Netflix has proved that they are in the game of spending shitloads of money on fights. So even if Tom Aspinall doesn't fight for another 5 years, he can always walk back into a super fight on Netflix in 5 years' time and make more money than he's ever made in his entire career. Leaving the UFC at this point in his career is the smart thing to do. And again, Mike Tyson is still fighting at 80. Pacquiao is still fighting now. Floyd Mayweather is still fighting now. Anderson Silva just fought Chael Sonnen. There is no time limit on these guys' careers anymore, as long as there are people that want to spend money on one big night of combat sports. And that is all Tom Aspinall needs, is one big night of combat sports. And quite frankly, he should tell the UFC to go and shove it up their ass, rather than being their good little lapdog. He sat around for them, waiting for them to sort out the John Jones situation while John Jones had a torn pec. Tom Aspinall has to get eye surgery because of what Cyril Gunn has done to him. Dana White says that he quit. Dana White strips him. Tom Aspinall should be absolutely furious at the UFC and doing everything he can to get away from them. He's probably been the most mistreated fighter in MMA history. It's epic. I watch those episodes when I'm sad and it makes me happier. They are bloody funny, Darklight Delirium. If we're talking about smart business, stripping Tom and leaving the division to continue is a smart thing to do. It's smart for the UFC, but it's also smart for Tom Aspinall to get as far away from the UFC as possible. I can't wait for Dana to start his hate ritual towards Tom after this. Oh yeah, it's going to be, he just doesn't want to fight. What can I say? The kid doesn't want to fight, you know? Is his eye broken? Is it working? I saw him kicking a ball around. I don't even know. All I know is the kid doesn't want to fight. In all fairness, Nacho, Oliveira tapped to Islam while Wash Dustin went 5 rounds with Islam Makhachev. Yeah, that's just spin. Tom making millions for one fight, only got to use 20% of his skills. Tom dropping the hammers on the TKO cucks. Nice to see it, Slimmy boy. Nice to see it. Where am I up to? There it is. What's up, fellas? Fuck yeah, I'm looking forward to this. How are you, Paul? Nothing like an emergency meeting to get us the morning started. I took Charles 3 minutes to beat Prime Justin. Took Max 5 rounds to beat a Wash Justin. I mean, the stats speak for themselves. Max is going to absolutely school Charles badly. I don't think he is. 0 preparation. You spent the whole game preparing for that one thing. 0 preparation, Eric. 0 preparation. We just loaded up some troops, marched across the bay as absolute chads, and nearly took Paris. I mean, what can I say? What can I say? I'm one of the best kings of England that England has ever kinged over. I'm even more confident in Charles Oliveira now that Jock is picking Max. His percentage is abysmal. It is true. Jock doesn't know how to pick a fight to save his life. I'm flip-flopping back to Oliveira. You have convinced me, Dougie. That's the way. We might have lost a Jock, but we gained a Dark Knight Delirium. What if Dana stripped Tom and then Tom stripped Dana and they had sex? Well, that would be gay. That would be very, very gay. Nacho was talking about Max taking Dustin to a decision, but Dustin literally almost bloody Islam Makhachev to a decision, and that just goes to show how bad Islam Makhachev actually is. You know? That just shows how bad. And people rarely talk about this, but Charles Oliveira was very injured in the Islam Makhachev fight. I have no way of proving that, but just trust me, bruh. Did you see the short one Tom's channel? Did you see the short one Tom's channel? I don't know what that means, Dinger. I'm sorry. As the biggest Aspinall Glazer ever, this is a big schlong move from Eddie and has made it so Dana has to go through him. It's very, very nice. I agree, Dig. You'd have to be just an absolute irrational hater to think that this is a bad move from Tom Aspinall, mate. Tom Aspinall's the fucking man, making big waves for a real payday. That's the way, Slim. There we go. Imagine this, Dougie. Max Id Ardia Mel Font decision. Thank you for writing in code. I really appreciate that. So Max wins, I guess is what you're saying there. Ardia ML, Master, and then Font decision. I don't think RDR's going to win, Ron Hulk. I'm sorry. Eddie will also make him a household name in the UK. Exactly right. He'll turn him into the UK's biggest star. Sharma brought balance into the light heavyweight division, and now he will bring balance to heavyweight. That's what he does. He goes and fixes divisions wherever he is, mate. There's time limits on their careers legacy-wise, but money-wise. Now, if you've got a big enough name, DAZN can make you millions. That's what I mean. Like, and I think legacy-wise for Tom Aspinall, fuck yeah. That's what I really do think. Like, again, Tom Aspinall is hated by the majority of the MMA fans because Cyril Gane poked him in the eye. And now MMA fans hate Tom Aspinall for it. It's been the weirdest situation to just sit back and watch. So if I was Tom Aspinall, I'd turn my back on all of MMA as well. I'd tell them all to go fuck themselves. I'd tell Dana White to go and fuck himself. I'd tell the fans like MMA Joey and Nacho, who are essentially like this right now. MMA and Joey and Nacho are so far up each other, you can't even tell where one starts and the other begins. I'd just tell them all to go and get fucked. Everyone can go and get fucked. You can all go get fucked, then I'll go make $30 million on Netflix in 5 years' time when my contract inevitably burns out. Go and fuck yourselves. Remember how chaotic and what a mess light heavyweight was before Alex? It was a bloody mess, yes, with the draw between Magomed Ankalaev and Jan Blachowicz. Aspinall will make the move. Tommy got fingered. Aspinall will make the movie. Tommy got fingered. How much would it take to get fingered by an MMA fighter? Check it out on my OnlyFans. Tom will fade into irrelevancy fairly quickly. Yeah, we said that about Francis Ngannou as well, though, didn't we? Dougie, Dana, and TK Arizona. Yep. True, Slim. But you know, I can't read it out because we're also on one of their platforms on YouTube. With the UK's only champion getting stripped, the UFC needs a new star to race to the top. And you know who that is? 10th ranked lightweight prospect, Chris the Sir Duncan. I don't know if actually, you never know, right? With how embarrassed Paddy Pimblett got. They do need a star out of that region. They might start pointing the cameras towards Chris Duncan. And he always does have fun fights. To be fair, Tom Aspinall leaving the UFC, if he inevitably does leave the UFC, and Paddy Pimblett embarrassing himself in front of Justin Gaethje, leaves the doors wide open to Sir Duncan, the keeper of the gate. Very true, Jock. Very, very true. What a weird thing to say. I don't even know what I said, Eric. Jake Paul is going to offer to fight Tom, but won't take it. Well, I don't think Tom is as dumb as Francis Ngannou. Fuck the lot of you. I had a 70% pick rate almost every card this year. I told you I'm the new man. And yet you're not ranked in the top 10. And yet you're not. It's almost as if you just cherry pick the easy cards to pick and then say, I'm the man, without actually getting involved in the competition the way that it stands. Very interesting. Classic slimy Scottish move. Hiding up in the hills and only coming down to fight when it's an easy card to pick. What's up, Loyalty Business? How are you, man? The short or the reel on Tom's channel? No, I haven't seen it yet, Dinger. Once the chat slows down a little bit, I'll get over to it, but we'll see. It's going to be a very, very busy stream today. We're going to have to burn out the conversation about Tom Aspinall, and then we need to do my picks for the weekend. So, yeah, it's going to be a busy little stream today. Do you have any faith that RDR will be in normal form for this fight? He barely took any time off after his alleged health problems. No, I don't. And me and Nacho were talking about RDR's career yesterday, and it's kind of dog shit, and we kind of got tricked into thinking RDR was good just because he was activity farming on us. But really, like, you go back and look at the Robert Whittaker fight. Very close fight that he literally had to cheat in the end of it. He had to cheat in the 5th round of the Robert Whittaker fight to get that win. Then his next best win is Bo Quiddle, and then on top of that, it's GM3. Like, what the fuck are we doing here, RDR? Dougie trying not to say RDR master rate. Yeah, I don't understand what was going on there. Just like Conor Benn is a UK household name and the rest of the world has no idea who he is. Yeah, I mean, look, if he fades into just being in the UK, it's a smart career move for Tom. He will inevitably make more money in boxing than he will in the UFC, and he will get treated better by Eddie Hearn than the UFC has been treating him for the majority of his career so far. The UFC have done nothing but shit on Tom Aspinall for the majority of his career so far. So he should go with Eddie Hearn, and Eddie Hearn should raise him up and show to the rest of the MMA fighters how well they can be treated outside of the UFC, and then form some sort of union. ML mixed lollipopped? Of course, mixed lollipopped. Why didn't I assume that ML meant mixed lollipopped? And he still makes more money than any other MMA star. Exactly right. Boxing fans don't want to see quitter Tom Aspinall embarrass another combat sport. How is he a quitter? He got 3 fingers and 2 eyes. Yeah, Tom owes Dana nothing after the treatment he has received. I'm not surprised he is doing this. If he takes a giant shit on the UFC, I would be happy for him. Me too, Alpeg. Me too. Let's have a Francis versus Tom for one of the MMA for a one-off MMA World Heavyweight Championship. Well, this is the thing, right? Like, if Tom Aspinall can get out of the UFC contract within the next year or two, and you have Francis Ngannou, who is now getting out of his PFL contract. I believe his PFL contract sunsets in April, I believe was what they were saying over at the PFL. If he gets out of his PFL contract and Tom Aspinall gets out of his UFC contract within the next year or two, and Netflix is interested in doing big combat sports events, whether that is boxing or MVP MMA, you could make so much money on Netflix between Francis Ngannou and Tom Aspinall, have Jake Paul on the undercard as a co-main event. Like, the amount of money that would bring in would be insane for Tom Aspinall. How long were you in India for? I was in India for 9 days, mate. Moicano is going to badly hurt Duncan and finish him in the first round. I don't know if I can pick Moicano. I don't know if he's got the fire anymore. Is it Fighter Matrix time? You know, today might be too busy even for a Fighter Matrix. One of the greatest pieces of MMA content ever made. I'm eligible for the top 10. What the fuck are you talking about? I picked every card this year. Oh, awesome, Jock. Are you in the top 10? Where are you at? Let's have a look at the website. We need to talk to Bangy's chatter about that as well, because the website doesn't work. Dougie's Corner Crew, where are you at on the wrong website? You're 20th. You're literally 20th. You've got a pick percentage of about 58%. What are you talking about saying you've got a pick percentage of 70%? You've got a pick percentage of 58.8%. If I ever get a pick percentage of under 60%, I would honestly try and give a loaded shotgun a blowjob. That's just terrible. And you should be embarrassed. And you should feel bad. You are bad at picking fights, and you should feel bad about picking fights, Jock. That's horrible. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding, mate. I'm just kidding. You'll be back. You'll be back. You'll be back. You'll be back. Yes, Dougie lad, made a nice payday from my Kavanagh pick. Oh, the last 5, you're over 70%. Let's have a look at your last 5. Where are you? Where are you? Kenny Okoye in a cage. Let's have a look at your last 5. Last 5 events, you're on 67.2%. For your last 5 events, you're on 67.2%. So you're not over 70%, actually. Once again, the Scottish are lying. Once again, the Scottish are lying. Once again, 67.2% for your last... Close enough. You went from I'm over 70% to 67. Wow. So he's moving the marker again, is he? Wow, wow, wow. All right, classic Scott. Weaselly Scottish. Weaseling their way around it again. All right, where am I up to? The pick streams are always the funniest stream. We do love the pick streams, Eric. Are you picking Moicano against Duncan? Oh, you're talking to Nacho. When you accept you're not built for this, like, mate, when will you accept you're not built for it? What? For what? What are you, Eric? I don't even know what you're talking about, all right? You need to add in some context. It's a busy stream today. I've been convinced by Paul that Derrida is going to win because of how he was controlling the GOAT Brendan Allen before he gassed. That's at least you, because I know you wanted to pick Derrida, you just didn't know why. All you do is copy Nacho's picks. Me and Nacho are constantly at each other's throat about picks. Having to cheat against Robert Whittaker just proves that you are not good. It proves that you're not, because Robert Whittaker is one of the best fighters that has ever strapped on a pair of MMA gloves. So, of course, the only way you're going to beat him is by cheating. Man, Tom deserves a lot better than UFC. Dana paying him scraps, and Dana is a bald... This is true, Slim. This is very, very true. The context was literally the message you just read. I don't know what's going on, Eric. There's too many messages. Everyone in the chat is extra spicy today. Knives out, left, right, and center. I know everyone in the Discord has been at each other's throats. Like, forever, it seems. The Discord is ready to burn itself to the ground. Ngannou versus Tom in boxing, now that is interesting. That's what I'm talking about, mate. That affected my awful picks last year. When Dougie looks at the camera in silence, it's more scathing than any words that he could have. It is funny, isn't it? Tom is literally just a big winner. Why hold up the division? Wiener? Whiner? Is that what you're saying? Whiner? Am I reading it wrong? Am I retarded? I'm probably retarded. Tom is literally just a big whiner. Why hold up the division? Let it breathe if you're confident you'll win when you return. Because the UFC held up the division for John Jones for a year. Just because of his pec industry, and then held up the division for another year just to negotiate with John Jones. Tom Aspinall got injured in like November, and he's ready to go again by June. It's been less than 6 months, and we're talking about stripping him. That's why. He sat around for 2 years so they could fuck around with Jon Jones, and the UFC can't even give him 6 months when they put in a known cheater in there, and it was the second time that he poked him in the eye in that fight, and they didn't even DQ him. They just called the fucking fight off. They didn't take a point. They didn't do shit. They haven't changed shit. They haven't done shit. They've just taken... The only shit they've done is the giant shit they've taken on Tom Aspinall. Fuck the UFC. Eligible for top 10, and in the top 10 are they're completely different things, mate. You could be eligible, but you'll never be in there with a picks rating like that. All jokes aside, Tom signing with Eddie is better than being with his daddy. The old boy has made some terrible mistakes in the last 12 months. I agree. Tom Aspinall's dad doesn't know jack fucking all about managing an MMA career. Yeah, Wiki Ward. But Nacho is at 70%. 70% is very good, Nacho. Well done, mate. How are we doing how do we join the MMA picks competition? Through your site or through Tapology? I want a prediction, Mog the Scottish. Go down to the description of this live stream. In the live stream, there is a link to join the Tapology group. The Tapology group is merely reflected kind of on the website. The website kind of reflects the Tapology group. So you have to join the Tapology group. You need to pick the last five UFC cards in a row, and you need to pick every single fight on the card to be eligible to laugh at each other about how good your picks are. The context was literally the message you just read. Too late, Eric. Too late. Too late. You're a good sport, bro. It doesn't go on. Jock is a good sport. We love Jock, and he's great for the banter. Must be embarrassing to be a Tom fan and now trying to convince yourself that you like boxing. I don't give a fuck about boxing at all. All I am saying is this is a good move from Tom Aspinall. He will make more money. The UFC has shat on him his entire career, and going to war with Dana White shows that you have a little bit of a backbone. Nacho, I'd much rather watch Ngannou, Tom, and MMA without any... Yeah, and who said it would have to be a boxing match? Like, MVP is literally doing an MMA match. They're doing an MMA card in a couple of weeks. It doesn't have to be a boxing card. I said MVP and Netflix are clearly interested in combat sports. So Francis Ngannou and Tom Aspinall on Netflix is big money. That can be an MMA fight. And Jake Paul on the undercard can be a boxing fight. Like, one championship will do kickboxing, they will do grappling, they will do MMA. They'll mix it all together. So, yeah. Crisp, you're a troll. And I know you're trolling me. The argument is, well, that guy did it, so why can't I? Tom literally keeps saying he doesn't know when he's returning, so let the division breathe. I mean, he said he's back in action today. He said he's back in action today, Chino. He's put it on his Twitter that he is ready to go back in action. Jones Bones Jones made everyone leave MMA without a fight. What a goat. That's true. He has retired everyone without even fighting them. Eddie Hearn told Andy Aspinall to shut the fuck up and sit in the corner, as he should have. I picked every Chris Duncan fight correctly, and that will never change. Good on you, Jocathan. Eddie Hearn is going to make the UFC great again. He will. He will, from the outside. What's the website? You're trolling me. Whoa. If you think Ngannou and Tom will fight MMA when boxing is an option, you're kidding yourself. They'd want the easy option. Jones is the GOAT. He knows MMA is what matters. Oh, delicious, life-giving water. I don't know. I think it depends. It all depends, mate. I can see why you're saying they might do a boxing fight because it's just easier. But the point I'm making is it doesn't have to be boxing. Like, MVP doing a MMA fight does change things. It does mean that anything is on the table, right? Eddie Hearn promised Tom he can play with his kids again. If you sign with me, you'll be able to play with your kids again. Jon Jones eye poked Tom without even fighting him through the powers of poking Francis Ngannou. What? Through the powers of manipulating Cyril Gane, he was able to eye poke Tom Aspinall. Can't believe Jock picked Torres to tap out Duncan. Unbelievable, Jock. John retired 2 heavyweight champs while injured or retired. He is the puppet master. It's true, Paul. It is true. Jon Jones is the future. Can't get eye poked in a boxing glove. That's also true. You cannot get eye poked in a boxing glove. But there is nothing to say that MVP MMA can't have Ryzen gloves. They don't have to have the straight gloves. They can have the Bellator gloves or the Ryzen gloves, which I'm surprised that the PFL don't use. Right, we're caught up. Everything's very good. Let me get into my picks. I've got my notes here. Let me get into my bloody picks, and we'll do that, and then we'll get the picks out of the way, and everything is going great. Everything's coming up, Dougie. Where are my picks? All right, let me get up Tapology as well. Everything's coming up, Dougie. That was really good. That was really good news to wake up to. Tapology. Let's go. Chris Duncan. Why is Chris Duncan always the first thing that my Tapology goes to? I swear to God, Jock is fucked with my computer. Jock is fucked with my computer because it just jumps into Chris Duncan no matter what. It's bizarre. Why can't I log into Tapology? Why isn't my Tapology working? Excuse me. There we go. I'm logged in now. Thank God. That was weird. Enter predictions. Fuck off. All right, sick. Live share predictions. Boom, 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 boom. I hate Rodolfo Bellato. How can anyone? I'm gonna turn on the fan. It's warm in here. Do I take off my shirt? It's getting warm. There we go. All right, I'll read some chats. Read some chats, Dougie. You're doing a live stream. Read some chats. Make that small. There we go. Put that there like that. There we go. And then read some chats. All right, cool. Where are the chats? Where's the chat? And then we'll jump back into doing this. Beautiful stuff. There it is. If Tom was scared of fighting Cyril Gane again, he could have just told Dana. He isn't scared of fighting Cyril Gane again at all. He'd be happy to fight Cyril Gane again. He just needed to have some eye surgery cleared up first. Mad deja vu right now. It's because we do this every week, MMA Dinger. We argue with each other and then we make picks. Isn't it a wonderful life? Who is Eddie Horney? Eddie Horney is a boxing promoter who has now started a new MMA management company, and his first signing was Tom Aspinall, and then he'll be talking about the rest of his plans tomorrow in a live press conference. I've picked 6 underdogs on this card. That's insane. 2 or 3 underdogs max. Can you get an interview with Tom's dad? Ask him the real hard questions. Don't like that. No, bad that. Dougie's Corner, never heard of him. Only 4,000 subscribers. Not good that. It ain't the gloves. Plenty of fighters have gone their whole careers without eye-poking anyone, while some of them eye-poke all the time. It's true, it's not the gloves, it is the fighters, but I'm just saying, you know, you guys are understanding that, like, with MVP happening on Netflix, rules can be changed. I've never seen a bare-knuckle eye-poke. UFC should ditch the gloves altogether. That would be great. How is Masvidal's MMA promotion? Is it any good? Your Tapology knows you. Yeah, it's really weird, Jock. I go to, like, you know when you start typing in a website and it just auto-fills it and you just hit enter? It always goes to Chris Duncan's homepage. It's so weird. Eddie told Tom you don't have a deal with Epstein Wongus with Matchroom. That's right. There's no one on the list over at Matchroom Boxing. How funny would it be if Dougie couldn't make his picks and was barred from his own leaderboard for 5 weeks? Yeah, that would be bad. That would be bad. Jock is doing what to you? He's crippling my computer. Don't ask a group of men if you should take your shirt off. True. Dougie is Joey Maxing, starting to sweat from just talking. No, it's bloody warm, mate. It's still the end of summer here. I think Tom is ducking the Gane narrative actually has some meat on his bones. I don't think it does. I don't think it does at all. Tom isn't ducking anyone. Tom needed to get eye surgery because Cyril Gane poked him in the eye and gave him browns. Dana doing business with Epstein and nonces. Ariel Emanuel is, yes, this is true, Slim. This is very, very true. And look at the owners of TKO, and then look at the owners of Skydance and Paramount. Tom has Ngannou after Stipe, 1 PSD from Gane. Tom has Ngannou after Stipe, 1, like PSD from Gane. Tom has Ngannou after Stipe, 1. Eddie Hearn was Jimmy Savile's biggest fan. Don't know who that is. How are you, MMA Master? I'm at work trying to follow the stream. Well, thank you, MMA Master. I appreciate it, mate. Game Bread is better than UFC, and Dougie pronounced it wrong. I'm not surprised that I pronounced it wrong. But yes, we are going to be bringing back Bare Knuckle Tuesdays. We're going to slide more into Bare Knuckle this year. Just because the UFC, I'm going to be honest with you guys, UFC is kind of gay. It's kind of a gay sport. It's kind of gay. There's way too much grappling. The best don't fight the best. There's too much politicking. The cards take too fucking long to get through. It's kind of gay. It's kind of gay. It's turning to Paramount UFC, kind of a gay sport. There's a saying in rugby where you play the referee, not the game. If you're getting away with something, it's part of the game. Garn just did what the refs allow. Eye pokes are legal. This is true. Eye pokes are legal. They will literally not do anything about eye pokes because it slows down the television time and therefore you can't get in as many ads. So yeah, you should be poking people in the eye as much as possible. I wonder why Tom gets treated like shit, quits mid-fight and runs to bot. He didn't quit, Robbie. He got poked in the eye. Tom is not making it easy on himself. In what way? What do you mean, MMA Master? I understood what you were saying, Paul. Well, thank God. Tom Aspinall will be the biggest what if, like if he didn't quit, what if he wasn't a bitch? Okay, Robbie, thank you for stirring the pot. Robbie, you should be in the Discord. No, he shouldn't. Robbie's a cunt. Let's diversify for real. Fuck the UFC. We are going to diversify. We're going to be following Bare Knuckle, like now that I'm back. From Vietnam. We're going to be following Bare Knuckle on Tuesdays. Muay Thai is better than Bare Knuckle boxing. Muay Thai is pretty good. I don't mind Muay Thai, but Bare Knuckle boxing has got that old school Western feel to it, where Muay Thai is very like respectful and a lot of the fighters don't speak English, whereas Bare Knuckle boxing, they all speak English. They're all savages. All the fights are incredibly fun. So bare knuckle boxing is like a thing for men that enjoy watching savagery. Why do we even like this shit? Because it used to be so good, Eric. I just lurk in the You lurk in the Discord? Oh my god. Yes, Dougie lad, you know the score. Skydance, Paramount, exactly right. Yep. And they're the ones that also own TikTok. You know what's up, Slim. What's happening with Dana White announcing the White House card? That's going to happen this week, Mickey Ward. Whether or not it happens at the pre-fight presser, whether or not it happens during the card before the main event, whether or not it happens at the post-fight press conference, we don't know, but it will be announced this week. Hopefully it's not just Dana White at the post-fight press conference. I would like to see a little bit of promotional material for the biggest UFC card of all time. Maybe a trailer, an AI-generated trailer. That might be too much to ask, but we might just get Dana White just whipping it out off his mobile phone at the post-fight press conference. Who knows, mate? Who knows? Where was I up to? We'll go there with that one. We'll go there. All right. Right, where am I up to? Sorry, boys. We know that one. We did Mickey Ward. We're bloody Mickey Ward hanging around in the stream. This is a good stream today. We don't usually get Mickey Ward hanging around in the stream. He usually bounces out. It's good to have you as one of the live chat members, Mickey Ward. If you guys don't know, Mickey Ward is in every single one of the comment sections of every single video and every single short, but he's usually in bed like a responsible adult by the time I'm usually live at my regular time. So it's good to have you, Mickey, in the live stream. What are the odds that Benil Dariush becomes the next Ayatollah? Pretty low, simply kudos. Watch your boxing card? No, boxing cards are gay. Dougie, how many times are we going to do this? You call me a retard today, you steal my talking points tomorrow. I've never stolen your talking points, Robbie. Never! You would defend Tom to the end of the earth, Doug. You've attracted a band of miscreants who seem to also believe one of the best UFC heavyweights quitting the UFC is a good thing for us. It's because of how the UFC have treated Tom Aspinall. How they have treated Tom Aspinall. I think it's a good thing for Tom. Fuck the UFC. Fuck Dana White. Fuck the way he's treated Tom Aspinall. I don't blame Tom Aspinall for choosing to go down this path. I don't think that's an illogical thing to think. On a serious note, the way the UFC or commission or whoever is in charge are total insult slur of your personal choice, cunts, for allowing it like it is. That's where our hatred should be directed. Well, I believe it's more the UFC. The UFC has now gotten to such a financial force that they are able to literally change boxing regulation. So that goes to show that it's the UFC that actually sits on top of the commission. It's no longer the commission and the governing bodies telling the UFC what to do. When the UFC was a small company, they were the ones that were kicking them out of casinos. They were the ones that were kicking them off pay-per-view. They were the ones that were saying it was human cockfighting. It was too much. Then the UFC ran towards regulation. Now the UFC makes a bunch of money. Now the UFC is manipulating regulations. So the UFC has moved from the bottom feeder all the way up to the top feeder above government. They're now manipulating regulation. Have you watched Mike Perry's Dirty Boxing at all? A friend of mine was on a couple of cards ago. And most of the fights were pretty entertaining. I have watched Dirty Boxing. It's really, really good. It's really good. But unfortunately, they don't do enough shows. Whereas BKFC will do a couple of shows a month. Do you think Conor is going to be fighting? I think Conor will probably fight on International Fight Week. I am mad at Tom for ruining heavyweight. He was the chosen one. He was supposed to bring balance to heavyweight. He was. And again, this has sort of been out of Tom Aspinall's control. Nice one, Dougie. Any predictions for who will be on the White House card? I think it will be Alex Pereira versus Cyril Gane as the main event, Mickey Ward. Tom is going, or maybe it's John Jones. Maybe it's John Jones. John has said that he is back. John has said that he's in negotiations. Ariel has confirmed that he is in negotiations. Maybe it's Alex Pereira versus John Jones for the vacant heavyweight title. Tom going from having his dad as his manager to Eddie Hearn is a massive upgrade. It is, Digger. It is. MMA Dinger says, speaking of Dariush, you know who Moicano's most recent loss? Yeah, I know. If you're losing to Dariush, you're losing to Chris Duncan. It's good to be. It's good to have you here, Mickey Ward. I would be surprised if the UFC grows. Paramount just bought Warner Brothers and has ownership over TikTok. I'll be surprised if the UFC... Why would you be surprised if it grows? Wouldn't you expect it to grow if it's now with such a big media conglomerate? Duncan is going to kill Moicano. I think he is, Jock. We are operating on a different level. People forget the absolute clinic Stipe put on Ngannou in the first fight, just like they forgot Stipe's resume, of which, when looking at the best of fighters, what about the second fight, though, where Ngannou destroyed Stipe? Aren't you the one saying the UFC pays the fighters too much money? Literally contradicting yourself just to goggle Tom's sack. Yeah, on a fight-to-fight basis, on a contract-to-contract basis, generally they do pay them too much money. But notice I didn't even talk about the money here. I'm just talking about the way that Tom Aspinall has been treated by the UFC. He has been a very good employee to the UFC, and the UFC have done nothing but set double standards for everyone else around him and shit on him. So in that case, why wouldn't you go and tell the UFC to go and fuck themselves? Right? And then I'm just talking as a businessman with Eddie Hearn. Eddie Hearn had his biggest star poached by the UFC, is having his entire revenue stream poached by the UFC. Why wouldn't you go on the offensive and start to poach UFC fighters and get them to unionize? Like, I'm just making total and utter sense here, and you're just sitting in a pit of hatred trying to be all crabs in a bucket here, Nacho. Tom has been treated disgustingly by the UFC. Yeah, so he might as well go and get his. Where am I up to? Yes, Dougie lad, you know that one. I'm flying out to Budapest, Hungary Monday. It'll be interesting to see what the Mega Brothers have to say about more wars for there will be more wars for them, Slim. Don't worry about that. Sean O'Malley is going to reach out to Eddie Hearn. I wouldn't be surprised, Johnny. I wouldn't be surprised if Eddie Hearn starts calling Sean O'Malley, starts calling MVP, starts calling Aljamain Sterling, all of the fighters that have been bitching about the UFC. Eddie Hearn should just be on the blower with them, as we say in Australia, non-stop. Tom Aspinall was shook when his overhand wasn't landing. He wasn't shook at all. He was cool, calm, and collected, and then he got fingers in the eyes. The fighters that fight once every year and a half are getting paid too much. True. Tom was forced out while being able to fight without being able to fight in 2 years. Yes. And then I had sex with Ariel and Emmanuel. Okay, that's just a weird way to end that, but thank you, Eric. Didn't look like he was begging to fight when he was crying that he couldn't see, because he couldn't see. Nacho, I know that's so hard for you to understand, and we've been over this for 6 months, but that's because he had 3 massive fingers and 2 eyes. I just realized I might be gay. I have the Dan Hooker Award, a Pride Award, and the Molly McCann Award. You know, you do have the holy trifecta of MMA LGBT, mate. Tom was so afraid he booked in LASIK in advance. Wasn't LASIK, was very necessary surgery to fix his Brown's disease. When are you expecting me to have sex when my dick... What is going on, Eric? Why are you booing me? I couldn't fucking see. Does a good employee tell the people they want to fight out their contract and go into boxing days before their fight? Does a good employee tell people that they want to fight out their contract and go into boxing days before their fight? Absolutely, mate. Well, that was his dad that said that, not Tom Aspinall, you know? So, you know, just leave everything where it belongs. That's up to Andy Aspinall, who was a bad manager, and we all said was a bad manager, and now Tom has a good manager. What about the second fight, Dougie? He's lost to Ngannou, doesn't make his win any less of a clinic. His win was very good, but Ngannou showed improvements, you know? Listen, if Tom wanted to have some leverage, sell some damn tickets. Bro doesn't sell tickets, just like Ngannou. He literally sold out the O2 Arena on a fight night. I'll actually find a better job that pays better after being paid. I will actually find another job that pays after being a non-paid slave. I agree with you, Eric. I agree with you. I didn't read that out in a retarded voice because of you. I read it out because I'm retarded and I can't read good. Is Eddie Hearn a weasel, though? Probably. I can't wait to see Hearn waste millions of dollars on another failed MMA promotion. It might not be an MMA promotion. It's simply a management company. They might use MVP as the promotion. We don't know, Nacho. The Stipe disrespect just makes me want to hate Tom even more now. Stipe is still the heavyweight GOAT, you fucking uncultured animals. No one said that he wasn't. No one said that Stipe wasn't the heavyweight GOAT. We said Tom Aspinall had the potential to be. That is now ruined by the way that the UFC has managed Tom Aspinall. If Nacho was any other chat member, he'd be getting the full brunt of Dougie's crash out. He would, but, you know, this has kind of been me and Nacho's relationship for 3 years now, so... you get used to it after a while. We're like an old married couple at this point. On the blower, yes, Dougie lad, on the blower, mate. TKO treats their employees like they're throwaway goyim. They do. This is true. Selling out the O2 Arena as a British person is not an accomplishment. I mean, you just said he couldn't sell tickets, and I just gave you some facts about how he did sell some tickets. That's all. That's all I'm saying. He knows I'm speaking facts, Jocks. He just can't admit it yet. Give him a couple of weeks. I don't think you are, actually. This is the right move for Tom Aspinall. Tom going to boxing, I don't think that's a win for Aspinall in terms of his MMA career. I think it's a win for him in terms of his bank account, Cayman, in terms of his bank account. Right! My God, we're getting somewhere. All right, Luke Fernandez is going to beat Rodolfo Velato. Rodolfo Velato doesn't have the heart of a fighter. He's a pussy. Right, moving on to Gaston Bolaños versus Jeong Young Lee. I don't rate Gaston that much, although I don't rate Jeong Lee either. I'm going to go with the scrappy Asian, Jeong Lee. Decision. Rafael Tobias versus... how do I wrote this down? De La Norguier. He's dog shit. He's absolutely dog shit. He hasn't won a fight since he's been in the UFC. He's fucking dog shit. Tobias is going to fucking smash him. Dia Norgage is fucking dog shit. Let me go back and read some chats. Where am I up to? I was up to Cayman. How are you, Cayman? Good to see you, man. I hope that you are well. Hope that you're doing good. Nah, yeah, I do think it's a good move for Tom Aspinall's bank account. I think the UFC have treated him fucking terribly, and I understand why Tom is doing this. Slim, no wonder I knew you were a good guy. You're from the north of England, and all the best people are from the north of England. Jock's also from the north of England. He's Scottish. That's the very north of England. Jock is from the true north of England. There you go. Nacho gets it. Bellato with a fake win. Yeah, Bellato is gay. Bellato is a Paul Craig victim. Exactly. How can you win a fight if you're a fucking Paul Craig victim? Gaston was a Muay Thai killer, but he's just terrible at MMA. I agree with you, MMA Master. He is terrible at MMA. I saw the Stipe disrespect when we were going through the GOAT list. I was driving and I couldn't comment. The fact that everyone was surprised that Stipe had his resume made me sick. People forget, man. People do forget. And that is fair. We did forget about Stipe Miocic when we were doing the legacy list over the Christmas break. The 6-week legacy list that we did over the Christmas break. That we will crack back open over this year's Christmas break. Yeah, that's fair. I mean, we were all surprised to see Stipe where he was, mate. Isn't Jock from Jockland? He's from Scotland, which is the very north of England. The northernmost English point. I still love you. I still love all of you. Even Robbie. If Tom was Indian, would be this forgivish. If Tom was Indian, would be this forgiving. If Tom was Indian, would be this forgiving. British people don't have MMA fights every weekend in their country. I don't. What do you? I watched some tape on Tobias. He's pretty fucking good, man. He is pretty fucking good. If Tom was black, the MMA fans would be crucifying him. Remember what they said about Ngannou? Yeah, but Ngannou was sitting around not fighting. Tom has tried to be active. Bro, Lerone Murphy could sell out the O2. No, he couldn't. And no one knows who he is. They're buying tickets because they only have UFC fights once a year, but he does sell out arenas. So, eat a dick. Don't worry, I'm here. Thank fucking God. Oh my God, I was about to close the stream. I was about to wrap up the stream. I was like, if Meat Rocket doesn't get here in a few minutes, we're out of here. The stream's over. How are you, Moody Wizard? Good to see you. Robbie is cooking today. The fact that you're agreeing with Robbie, who just lives to be a troll, I mean, Nacho, these are the people who you're with. You're with MMA Joey and this Robbie guy who just trolls. You're on the wrong side of history here, Nacho. I'm sorry to say it, but you're on the wrong side of history here. Do you think Albanese will be at the White House event? Probably not. I hope not. Yeah, brother. Ngannou never tapped out in a title fight. He should have. The UFC is selling the tickets, not Tom. Tom's the headliner. You see what happens when the UFC comes to Australia and they don't have a good name? The tickets went for $70 a seat. The arena wasn't even sold out. There was empty seats everywhere. It's not the UFC just... And by the way, Australia only has 2 events a year, the same as England. My name's Robbie. Fucking idiot. I hope Eddie signs a whole stable of good UK and European fighters. I think Eddie in the MMA space would be phenomenal for the sport. It'll bring a good amount of interest from the boxing world. I don't think it has to be primarily from the UK. I think he's just got to pick his targets here. Like I said, the MMA fighters are furious about the Conor Benn signing. And there is something here to stir up a collective bargaining, a strike with the UFC fighters. A bit of a UFC... What's the word I'm looking for? Union. MMA fighter union. It could happen now. Tom is trying to be active, then why isn't he fighting yet? Because he needed to get eye surgery from the vicious assault that happened to him by Cyril Gane, the guy who is known for cheating and hasn't served any punishment for it literally ever. GSP and Aspinall are the only UFC champs to tap to strikes in the UFC. Bro, these are valid points. Calling my viewpoint trolling doesn't even make it less true. It is trolling. You're talking about how he can't sell seats, and I'm telling you that he's like literally sold out stadiums. Upper management and lower management are in agreement on this one, Dougie. Please don't fire me. I'd never fire any of you. I love you all, even Robbie. Dougie must be trolling. I'm not trolling at all, Robbie. You're the troll. All I remember is when John Jones quit a rematch against Reyes and quit fighting until Ngannou left the UFC. Excellent points, Eric. Dougie, I came here late. What do you think of Hearn signing Aspinall? Do you think Dana is... Yes, I think Dana's furious. I do think this points towards Dana White. My chair is falling apart. It's time for a new chair chat. The handles are falling apart. I do think that this points to Dana White stripping Tom Aspinall for the White House card, so it's going to be very interesting to see what we get for that. I do think there is a chance that the UFC are going to freeze out Tom Aspinall, so we might not see him fight for like a year, maybe 2 years. But then when he is done, he will have at least one fight with someone and make a shit ton of money, and then just ride off into the sunset until... all the combat sports fans to go and suck a giant, giant penis. Francis and Tom both can't play with their kid after crossing Dana. Coincidence? I think not. Eddie has networking in areas I'm sure that will benefit MMA in the UK. I'm sure it'll specifically be in the UK, but I'm saying I don't see why it has to be specifically in the UK. Why not branch out and attack some of the other disgruntled MMA fighters? Dougie, if Tom can make millions all for one fight, power to him. I agree, Slim. Power to him. Simply Kudos with the best comment on the stream. Pin it. What did Simply say? Where is it? What did Simply say? Isn't Eddie Hearn a weasel? Was that the one? Simply. Francis and Tom both can't play with their kid. Oh, that one. You want that one to be pinned? I'm guessing that's the one. All right, where am I up to? Don't queef on me. What's up, Darklight? I'll never queef on you, Darklight. I only shit on you. Chale put out a video 2 hours ago with the title, Tom Aspinall is being stripped this week. I actually might believe Chale on this one. However, Chale does just make shit up just for clicks, but Chale might be right on this one. Let's move on to the next pick of the card. Suma Dwergi versus Jesus Aguilar. Now, this is tricky. This is a tricky one. This is a tricky one. This is a tricky one. You don't pick two Asians to win on one card, and I'm pretty sure Lee is going to beat Gaston. I think Suma Dwergi is going to have a scrappy fight, a fun fight, but I think Jesus is going to get it done. I think it's going to be a decision. I think it's going to be a bit of a war. But I think Jesus Aguilar is going to out-MMA him. Yeah, that's a tricky one. That is a tricky one. Cody Durden versus Najim Najel Thembarel. Cody Durden versus Najim Najel Thembarel. You're going with Thembarel. Cody Durden is shit. Cody Durden's fucking shit. He's dog shit. This is an easy win. Ricky Tercios is going to get fucking subbed. Probably round 1. Ricky Tercios is dog shit. Look at the photo he has for himself. Even in his photo, he looks done. Guru picked Durden? No, he didn't. No, he didn't! No, he didn't! Guru did not pick Cody Durden. Oh my god, dude. One of the top comments on Tom's recent video is it's a bad day to be Dana's wife. That is brutal, mate. That is fucking hilarious. It's a bad day to be Dana's wife. MMA fans are cooked. Where am I up to? Eddie gets into UK media and presses at a higher level than the UFC has in his area. I feel if he tries to have a go with MMA, it's actually good for the sport. I agree he could represent anyone. Yes, I do think it's good for the sport. I think he should represent anyone. I don't think he should sign his own MMA organization, though. I don't think what the world needs is another failed MMA organization. I think he should just get a roster of fighters going. And once he has a roster of fighters, that roster of fighters can start a strike, essentially, like a writer strike like they have in Hollywood, the NBA strikes that they have where they just don't play. Start a strike and get some sort of collective agreement going. And that will be good for the fighters. It'll be bad for us. Like, we don't want the fighters to go on strike. We don't want the fighters to get paid more. It'll be bad for us MMA fans. But like I said, we're going to be transitioning over to BKFC anyway. The UFC is kind of cooked anyway. The best no longer fight the best. The matchmaking is being just dog shit. It's cooked anyway. Fighters aren't fighting often anyway. Like, Khamzat Chimaev is fighting once a year. We're not seeing the best versus the best. We're not seeing fighters fight often. Shit's fucked anyway. Promotion has gone down the fucking drain. It's time for a switch up. Conor Benn deserves every penny of that $15 million. The dude is just so freaking sick. I've never seen Conor Benn do anything, so I can't comment on that. I don't know if Eddie wants in the MMA space, but I hope he does. I hope so too. Darklight, you must be a... Darklight ain't no casual. One of the top comment... We did that one. Guru picked Durden. Guru is insane. Whoever is going to the Simadwaji one, this one is a banana peel for me. Yeah, the Simadwaji one's a 50-50, but I can't pick two Asians to win on a single card. He did. I fucking lost it. Yeah, I don't know what Guru is doing. Did Guru pick Durden? Seriously? I don't know what Guru is doing with that one. That's insane. Fuck, Guru is gone. Yeah, Guru's out of the game. I'm going to do a all Cody parlay. It's a guaranteed lock. Definitely not a lock. And all the Codys are mostly dog shit. Slim probably has police on his way to his house for that comment. Probably. What is up, Mitch? How are you, man? I'm doing great. We're having a little bit of an emergency early stream because of the Tom Aspinall news, Mitch. Pick Aguilar. He's solid. Yep. He's a tough card to pick. This is a tough card to pick. It's an alright card to pick. I mean, I don't think this fight's particularly hard to pick, right? Let me move you guys across so we can see everybody over here. Beautiful stuff, mate. All right, now we're moving on to the net. We've done the Ricky Tercios one. Dante Johnson versus Cody Brundage. Cody Brundage is dog shit. He is dog shit. He is absolute fucking dog shit. Dog shit, 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 dog shit. Can't just pick all the favorites. No, you can't just pick all the favorites. And we're not going to be picking all the favorites. We're going with Cody Garbrandt. We're going with Cody Garbrandt to get a decision. We're going with Cody Garbrandt to get a decision. You can't just go all the favorites. With Gregory Rodriguez, I'm going with Gregory Rodriguez to get the TKO late in the fight. I know they've had the rematch. I know this is a rematch. I know he lost to Bruno Ferreira. Don't care. I think he's going to win this one. Drew Dober versus Michael Johnson. Drew Dober doesn't lose to them, brother. He doesn't lose to them. Drew Dober KO round 3. Drew Dober doesn't lose to them. And Rob Font. I believe Rob Font isn't the favorite, and I'm going with Rob Font. I think Rob Font's going to get it done. I think we might see a standing TKO round 3 against Raul Rosas Jr. I think he's going to beat the fuck out of Raul Rosas Jr. Caio Baralho versus Rainier de Ritter. I am going with Caio Baralho. I think he's going to get the decision over Rainier de Ritter. And for the main event, boys, Max Holloway versus Charles Oliveira. Let me read some chats, and then I'll come back to the picks. Let me read some chats, boys. Oof. What do we reckon, boys? Where are we at? How are we feeling about the picks? Jock is, it's a really hard card for me. I got no idea for most of them. I didn't think this card was that hard for me. I found last week's card to be a lot harder. It's a bloodbath of a card compared to last week. Last week was the all favorites card. I think it was the week before that I found harder. You can't just pick all the favorites. That is true. I'm going to sit this one out and take my 5-week ban. No, you can't take a 5-week ban, Paul. You've got to pick this card. Don't be taking a 5-week ban. Put your hand, grab your nuts, and make some fucking picks, cunt. All right? Get the fuck in there and make some picks. All right? You'll be right. Just take a deep breath. Make some picks. All right? Garbrandt is going to lose. I don't know if he is. We did the tape study yesterday. We literally had 2 fights on the screen yesterday. Here and here, man. Hulk is going to KO him. Robocop is too chinny. I think Robocop has learnt a decent pace of the fights. I don't think he rushes as much as he used to. I back, man. I back this week. Don't hate the player, hate the game. True. Darklight is where I do it. Where do I find this channel? Where do you find Darklight's channel? Just click on his name, mate. I'll give you Darklight's channel right here. Go to channel. This is Darklight Delirium. And he's made some funny little interviews between me and him where he takes the zesty things that I say. He asks me a question via Zoom call, and then I say a zesty thing from the channel. It's very, very funny. So check out Darklight and check out the Darklight versus Dougie's Corner series that he's got going on there. It's very funny stuff. Don't be scared, Paul. Don't be scared, Paul. Get in there. Get in there, mate. Holloway by murder? Absolutely not. Round 1, body shot, TKO for Holloway? Absolutely not going to happen, Mitch. Petition to ban Paul for 10 weeks if he sits out? No, Paul's just kidding. He's just trolling. He really is Dan Hooker maxing. Nah, we'll be right. Not even cherry picking Jock is taking a 5-week ban. Not even the old cherry picker Jockathan. Paul thinks he's Tom Aspinall. You can't just sit out for 5 weeks. I live by the sword. I die by the sword. I love the competition, win or lose. I like doing the picks with you guys, but I hate being the one that has to be in charge of tallying everything. It's annoying to me. The second Darklight and Dougie show is on the way down. Is the first on the way. The first episode is done. Nice one, Darklight. Love to see it, mate. Love to see it, man. Dougie, where would you most like to touch Darklight? On the tip of his penis. It's hilarious. That's why I typed fucked up shit to make Dougie say I clip it and I use it for my troll. It's true. I've got to take a huge shit, chat. I'm going to shit myself, chat. I need to... We're going to wrap up the stream early today. I'm just playing Islam right now in UFC 5 when I got his walkout song playing in the background of the PlayStation Spotify. That shit goes hard. Isn't Islam Makashev's walkout just... Surely I can hold on for half an hour. We'll be right. People forget, man. I'm the reason there's a rule. Are you? Oh, yeah, I think you were the one that started cherry picking. Larry stuck that responsibility on you and dipped. Yes, he did, and I hate him for it. I hate him for it so much. And Banging's Chowder tried to help, and I really appreciate Banging's Chowder. And the website looks beautiful, and it's really fun to be able to click on everyone's profiles. And I appreciate Banging's Chowder so much for doing it. But it doesn't work. It doesn't work. Nothing works except a fucking pen and paper. I hate it. I hate it so much. Nacho took 2 minutes to fire up my John Jones level game theory. I'm the guy that forced half the rules. People forget, man. Is talking about the sword I don't understand what you're saying. Islam's walkout song is nice, isn't it? Just... I used to be a 1-week ban, and I said if there was a tough card, I'd just sit out for the 1 week and then be back on top, so you changed it to 3 and then 5. Yes, so it was originally 3, and then it became 5 because so many people have been doing it for so long. 3 felt a little bit easy, so I think we're just going to sit at type. I'm driving, sorry for the typos. You're all good, loyalty business. You're all good. Right, my final pick. Charles Oliveira. Dougie's trying to rush through this so we can go and shit. No, I'll sit on this shit for 25 minutes. I'll sit on this shit. Surely it'll be okay. I won't shit myself too bad, surely. Surely I'll be okay. Oh, Guru just went live as well. Good for you, Guru. Good to see you back. Good to see you slowly coming back to life. Good for Guru. Oh, you made the exact same pick? Nice one. Oh, and of course we can't go because... we have got to do... Where is it?
Welcome to Nacho's Lock of the Week. It's time for the UFC.
Yeah!
Place your bets now and lock it in.
Yeah! It's time once again for the best thing in MMA YouTube.
Welcome to Nacho's Lock of the Week. It's time for the UFC main event. Place your bets now and lock it in.
Nacho's Lock of the Week. It's time. What is Nacho's Lock of the Week? He sent it to me. Where is it, mate? You sent it to me last night. Oh, sorry I didn't get back to that message, right? Where is Nacho's Lock of the Week? We've been stressing. We've been texting too much. Santiago Luna. That was last week's Lock of the Week. Where is this week's Lock of the Week? Nacho, why don't you tell us what your Lock of the Week is? I can't find it in our messages. We've messaged each other too much. Oh, there it is. All right, 66666. Right. I demand a refund. We'll get to you, Eric. Just wait. Just said, yeah, thank you, man. I appreciate that. Nacho's Lock of the Week is going to be Michael Johnson against Drew Dober via knockout. Nacho is going Michael Johnson via knockout for Nacho's massive Lock of the Week. What? Dante Johnson. Whoops. Dante Johnson, my bad. Dante Johnson. I'm not in Top Chat, and I will get to you in a fucking minute, Eric. Wait. Dante Johnson via knockout. My bad. They all look the same. You know how it is. Dante Johnson via knockout against Cody Brundage. I also have Dante Johnson via knockout. So me and Nacho are exactly the same. We are exactly the same. Fix the chat on the stream. Fuck off, Eric. I'll get to you in a second. Dante Johnson. Dante, thank you for producing the show, Eric. I really appreciate it. Dante Johnson is Nacho's Lock of the Week via KO. Me and him have the exact same pick for that one. Now, what was Eric saying? Oh my God, I need to shit so bad. This is not going to last for 20 minutes. It used to be a 1 week bet. We did that one. Oh my God, I can't do this. Funny thing is, I just genuinely forgot to make my picks. Yeah, but you know, this thing happens. Dougie tells everyone I took myself out of the content. I need to shit. I'm going to die here, chat. I missed one card by accident last year and got sent to the Shadow Realm. You did, Justin Kennedy, but that's all right. You'll work your way back. Think about me when you wipe your ass, Dougie. I always do, mate. I always do. You're good till you're a hammerhead. I think I've got a hammerhead. Yes, my man. You know D-Wing holds it down, dropping the hammers on him. There you go, mate. Did he give it to you last night? I don't know what you're talking about. I remember when Doug used to apologize to me for not answering on time. I'm sorry, Eric. I apologize. Where am I up to? I did a double take. Yeah, I know. Rawson has soft up Bumbridge. He's primed for a knockout. There you go. A tale as old as time. You and Nacho have the same pick. How the fuck is Brundage still here? I don't know. All right, guys, I'm out of here. I'm going to die if I don't leave. I need to go. Guru's live. Go and chat to him. Otherwise, I'll see you guys in the Discord. And then I'm going to record a video after this. And then I need to work on the Vietnam vlog. W stream. Absolute W stream. Massive effort. All good stuff. I need to go. I appreciate you all so much. I'll see you all later. Have a good one, boys. Goodbye.